Hey there, ladies. It's Krista Smith from Activate Her Awesome, and I am here with another uncomplicated and easy to follow tech tutorial guaranteed to helping you take your time back starting today. Today's YouTube tutorial is all about Instagram stories. This is the second in my introductory series to how to use Instagram stories. If you missed last week's, make sure you head over to my YouTube channel and catch it. It's there, and I will link to it below this video. And today we're going to be talking about how you can make your stories have a little bit more jazz. So one of the great things about Instagram stories is that you can make them super interactive. I'm going to be showing you some of the photo and video options. I want to show you how you can also use text and captions over your video or photos that you're posting in your Instagram stories. This is one way in which you're going to be able to open a dialogue with your audience, and they may hit that send message button and get in touch with you. So it's a really great way to create engagement, which is one of the goals of social media. Let's pop into our stories. Those are those circle icons at the top, and your story is going to be on the top left. I added to my story yesterday, so I don't have a little plus sign there. But when I click on my story, I do then get a plus sign. Actually, I'll do it just. So let's start with when you open your story. When you open it, you are going to get two options. One, you're either going to have the camera facing away from you, which is as it's doing now, or you're going to have the camera facing you like this. So it's going to be one or the other. And in order to take a picture, your story is set to default to normal at the bottom. You can see the normal, and then there is a white circle in the middle. That is the take a picture button. If you click that, you instantly take a picture. If you want to take a video, what you do is you press that red button and you hold it down. And what it's doing is it's now taking a video. And I can take up to 1 minute in video. That's 4 15-second clips. That is the way that Instagram breaks a story down. One slide of a story is only 15 seconds long. So right now you can see that I have one, I don't know if you can really see it there. I can see it more clearly there. One plus a second one. So I've almost been talking for 30 seconds. And now, Instagram has this really great feature at the top, which is the one that looks like a sound, and it has an X. So I can turn the sound off. That's 4 15, or leave it on depending on what my goals are. So that's a really great feature to have. So that's how you basically take photos and video using the app itself. There are some other options here. You can go live. So this one actually goes live, meaning whatever you post here in terms of video is going to be live to all of your followers. There is also a type one. I tend to not use this one very much. There are some options in here that you can change up the colors of the type. You just hit the colors which are on the left. But if I'm going to do something where I'm going to put type, I'm going to show you a different way to do that, because usually I like to put a picture behind it. So let's just go back to normal. Boomerang. Boomerang lets you do just that. So if you press the button and move your thing around a little bit, it creates that boomerang effect. There are all kinds of options inside of Super Zoom. Super Zoom actually zooms in. So if I press it once, so it's going to do that every single time. That's what the Super Zoom does. And there's all kinds in here. Feel free to go in and check them all out. There's focus. So focus allows you to blur out background and have one particular thing show up, and you can blur it more or less using this slider on the left. And there's all kinds of, different ones in here, again, that you can go into and explore. This last one is probably the one that I use the most. And I use it when I'm creating video for you guys. So what I would do is I would press the video and I would just start talking, and I only have to press it once. So that means I don't have to keep my hand on that white button, which is a huge time saver. So instead of having to hold your finger over, I'm going to go back. The white button, like you have to do here, because you have to keep your finger down. If I take my finger off, if I take my finger off, what happens is that it stops. So in order to avoid that, I zoom over here to hands-free and use this regularly. Okay, so now that we have how you can post video and how you can post photos using these options down here, I want to show you a couple of other ones. So let's pretend, let's just take a picture of this. And now I want to show you the text. So the text shows up on the upper right, and you can click it and then you can write something here. So this is for YouTube. Now I'm going to press done. Now if I move this down here, you can kind of see it, but it doesn't really make a great big statement. There's a couple of things that we can do to change this. We can actually change the color of the text. So to access it again, I'm going to click it and I can pick any of these colors that are in here. If you swipe to the right, you have different colors. So let's just say I wanted it that coral color, and then I press done. Okay, now I can also do a couple of other things with this. I can actually change the size, so I can make it smaller by pinching on the words and pinching my fingers together. I can make it bigger, I can move it around, can do pretty much whatever I want with it. Let's say I wanted to make this text be one of the colors in the background. You can do that too. So if you click on the text and you click on the eyedropper tool, which is the furthest over on the left, it allows you to select any of the colors that are in the picture. This makes it look a lot more cohesive when you do that. So one of the other things that you can do is next to text tool, there is a pen tool, and you can actually also use your eyedropper tool in here to get one of the pretty colors in the background. And then what you can do is you can change the size of your marker in here, and you can actually add color on the background. So this would work really great in a photo where there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. In this picture, we have some white in the background, so not as important, but gives you the sense of what you can do. To undo anything, all you have to do is hit the undo button. And one thing I want to show you is, let's say you didn't really want, like you made a mistake here. If you click on your text till you select it and you can move it around, you can actually move it down here to the garbage can and it will delete. I want to show you a couple of other options in here. So let's write that again. Okay. There are also other text options. So if you select your text up at the top, in the center you can see that it says strong. Box around it, meaning I can actually put a color behind this as well. So I can also pick one of the colors from in here to put behind it. So that's a really cool option, and you can also change it back to the regular color. I'm going to take it back to white, but you can also tap on the strong and change it. So this is classic. In classic, there's a couple of really great options. You can actually change the alignment. So you can see on the furthest left, we have center aligned, left aligned, right aligned. And you can also change make it have a background color as well. And it will automatically make this look really good for you. So again, we can also pick one of those colors if we wanted to. Right? So super easy for classic. So let's go back to white. And one of the great things about classic mode is that you can actually also make it so that when you tap it again, it gives you this opacity color. So let's just pick a pink maybe. And you can see that we have that really pale pink in behind here as well. So that's a really cool option to explore. There's all kinds of things in here. Let's hit that center again. This is modern. And as far as modern goes, really, you're just kind of looking at colors inside of here. Neon makes it look like this. And typewriter. So now let's say that I'm going to go back. Let's go back to regular, and I'm going to take it to white. And let's go into classic. maybe make it bigger. So now I want to show you one other option inside the color options. And that's if there's a color maybe between two colors. So maybe I want the color to be between the pink on the end and the purple. If I hold my finger on the pink, all of the range of colors come up, and you can find your particular color that you want to use a little bit easier by going in here and using these options. So that's a really great tip to have. Now, let's talk about, I'm just going to close this because I don't want to post that. Let's talk about video. Let's say I have a video and I am going to record this video and I'm going to share this video on my story. Here's my story. One of the great things to do with your stories is to actually add captions or repeating basically the message of what's in this 15-second clip over it. Okay, so here is me talking about using Instagram stories, and maybe I want to pull, I don't know, maybe this pink color here behind, and I just want to add a little bit of jazz there. You can see how that pulls this video together because I've chosen one of the colors in the photo. And you can be messy, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. But the great thing about doing this is that a lot of times when people are watching their Instagram stories, they don't have the volume on. And if they don't have the volume on and you're talking in the Instagram story, they're not going to hear you. So making sure that you take the time to put a few words over each video clip will increase your chances of your audience engaging with you. So one last thing. Let's say you already have a video that you have taken that you want to post, or you have a photo that you've already taken in your camera roll that you want to post. Here's how you would do that. In the bottom left, there's a little option that allows you to bring up your most recent photos and video. So let's just say that I want to post, this video here. So it's 2 minutes and 18 seconds long. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know that Instagram's going to cut me off after a minute. So I actually wouldn't post that. What I would do is I would just go in and redo it live. This one here is 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I'm not sure if I have any video in here. I will show you what it looks like, but I'm not going to be able to actually post it. So I'm going to turn off the volume. That's the first thing I'm going to do. You can see on the bottom, I have 4 options here, and this is the 4 15-second clips. What I can do is I can actually make it a little bit smaller so it absolutely fits inside my window, and I can go ahead and add text over it. And you can see in this one, this doesn't show up super well because of the white. So I could move it down here to the black. But what I could also do is I could leave it maybe right there. And what I could do is pick up some of the color that's in my shirt and just add a little bit behind that like that. So that is one way that you can add previously shot video to your Instagram feed. So I'm going to discard all those changes. You have to make sure it's under a minute. If not, it will get cut off and there's no way to add the extra minute after that. It's just super complicated. So just trust me, if it's not under a minute, just don't add the video. But you can also add pictures. So let's say I wanted to add this picture. What's going to happen is the date's going to come up. If you go back too far, if it's not within the last 24 hours, to remove that date, you click on the date itself until you can start to move it around, and then just move it down to the delete button. And then you can add your text over this photo to explain what you're talking about and share it. And to share it on your story, you just press that share story in the bottom. So that's it, you guys. That is today's tutorial on taking Instagram stories kind of to the next level. And I hope that you have learned some tips and tricks on how to use the text options and color options to create more interest and engagement in your Instagram stories. Next week, I'm going to be talking about my favorite filters in Instagram and what they are, and we're going to be getting into some of the engagement features inside of the Instagram stickers. Stay tuned for that. Cheers.